Alright, in this video I'm going to show you exactly how to use Spin Rewriter, why it's such a powerful tool and a time saver. You simply would log into SpinWriter. There's an actual website that you go to, and you log in, and then you click on Rewrite, and Rewrite's at the very top of the menu in the screen, and you get something that looks like this. So there's actually two reasons you want to use this, and I'll show you each reason. Now, this is inside the WordPress dashboard. All of you have something very similar to this. And if you look on this left side, you'll see this kind of column of stuff. If you click the very bottom link, it expands it so that you can see all the words. And what you want to do is click on Posts, and this will show you the titles of all of your posts. And if you've done a walkthrough with us, you're already familiar with this. But the neat thing to know is the very first post is the most recent post, and then it goes older, older, older. If you scroll all the way down, you've got the 4 arrows. Click on the double arrow, takes you to the last page. This blog has 3 pages. You can see here's some good viral posts that we've had for this site, already over almost 10,000, most of them. But if we go down to the oldest post, published on June 2nd, we'll want to start with this. Now each post has an ID. You can see the number always gets higher. So if you start from the very first post and you work your way up and you keep track of that, you'll always know where you left off. So always start with the last post, don't start with the newest post. So this is the very oldest post. I'll click on Edit, and now here is the text of the post, the body, but as you can see there's a lot of code in here, and we can actually toggle and change that between visual and text. You can kind of see how that works. So what we want to do, being that this is a post that's been added, we want to edit this post. And your goal for your website would be to edit every single one of your posts at least one time. And this can make a huge difference with the search engines because it shows that you're constantly updating your site. So there are several ways to do this. Using Spin Rewriter, I would simply select all the text by left-clicking the mouse. Now I can right-click and copy. You'll have to play around with this, but you'll notice that I did not select the image the way that I did it. If I do a Control A, it selects the image, and you probably want to keep the image in your post. So if you're careful, you can get all the text without the image being highlighted, right-click, copy. So going into Spin Rewriter, I'd simply paste this into step 1 where it says rewrite a single article. When you get Spin Rewriter, by the way, there's walkthroughs that help you, but it's not hard. And we do want to spin things. We click on this to make it say yes. And the best settings are to click these 3 boxes. Rewrite sentences, entire paragraphs, change the structure. And then over here we have more settings. We click on that. And we want to use low risk. Only words it's really confident about. It won't spin as much of it, but it will be very accurate. And we always want to check off find synonyms for single words, and check off automatically protect capitalized words. Now if you have specific words that you don't want to change, you could simply type these in here, 1 word per line, like video games or video game. I could do that, and it will remember that for the future. Then all we do is click on Start the Rewriting Process. Takes a few seconds. Okay, once that's done, we simply scroll down and click on Continue to the final step. Then we click on generate a unique version of this text, and here it is. So I can click Control A, or I can right click, select all, and then I can hit Control C, or I can right click and select copy. Just copied that. I've got two tabs open here at the top of the browser, so I can go back and forth between the blog dashboard and Spin Rewriter. You can even use two browser separate windows, but you want to have both opened up. Now all I have to do, since all the text is highlighted, I can right click, paste, and now I've literally managed to replace the text. Now look how the image is screwed up. I don't like the way that that sits, because it's going to look funny when we update the blog post. So I can click on the image, click on the pencil, and just put it on the right side. Click update, and there it is. It's fixed. Now the text runs with it on the horizontal lines. It will look much better when it publishes. All I have to do now is click update. Now before I click update, what I'm going to want to do is spend about 30 seconds to a minute, and I want to power scan this text to make sure that everything reads okay. If it does not read okay, I'm going to go ahead and fix it. The first part I notice is kind of minor. Most people aren't experts on computers. Comma, I'd have to add a word here. I would add they know little to nothing about computers. Okay, here's a small typo. The system needs a solid video card. It's supposed to say video card, so I'll simply add a D. Towards the bottom, here's one more. Now you're aware of some of the important details that are considered when buying a new PC. I think it should say that are now of the important details that are to be considered. Just fixing, slight grammar errors. So in this case, there was only three minor errors I had to fix. Then I would click update, not before, and it's done. Now to edit your post, you'll notice that there's some, it's basically a link. It's in blue. And this is where your ClickBank advertisements go into. So if you don't want to lose the link, if you use the Spin Writer, what you want to do is toggle over to the text area and look for the code. In this instance, here's the code. It's aref. All links will do that. I added this link as an example, but in general, you would see ClickBank in here in the actual text. You simply copy this, and you can simply paste it into your text pad, and you can note, you can see right here, this is the actual text, new computer. Sometimes I like to just write it outside of it so that when I go ahead and paste the new edited text, a lot of times, or pretty much every time, it's gonna lose the link. So it's gonna come out looking like this, and there's no blue, there's no link. So in order to fix that, we can toggle back to text, find the word new computer, select it, come back to where we copied the link. We'll copy it again, and now we'll just paste it in place of new computer, right back where it was. Click on visual, and you'll see that the link is back. This is something you can play around with. It's really not that difficult. You simply, every time there's a link or a picture, that would create a code. A funny looking stuff like this. That's like website code. So in order to view the code, look at the text part, toggle over to the text, click that tab, and you can simply copy it. And then you can, when you paste in, and there's no link, there's no more code, this image is still there because we didn't delete it. You simply come back in, look where it's at, and you can paste it right into this area. And it's as simple as that. Now again, the ClickBank links come in sporadically, so a lot of times they're not going to be in the article text anyways. So if you want to retain them, that's how you do it. You'll just have to play around with it. But as you can see, being able to rewrite this entire article using Spin Rewriter was very quick. That's the first benefit. If I were you, I would get Spin Rewriter, and one by one, I would actually go through, and I'm going to click update here. I would actually go through one by one the posts, starting with the oldest post, and I would edit every single article in here using Spin Rewriter. And I would sit there and proof it as fast as I could to make sure that it's readable. So I just did number 8. Let's pretend I did 10, 12, 14, and 16. If you just do 5 a day, even 10 a day, depending on how much time you have, you'll catch right up to the most current post very quickly. So what I would do is I would make a note. Today's July 6th. I would write down through post 16. That way when I came back tomorrow, I would know that I had done through 16. I need to start with 18. Just keep track of it, and before you know it, you'll get through all of your posts. Now that's something that, is important, I think, especially if you're looking for significant results. This is something that you can spend some of your time on. This is how you can be more proactive with your site. However, there's something that's even better, and that's in some of the previous videos we've written about or created on how to get content to your site. Now, this particular site's about video games. So I would go to Google and I would type in newest video games. And then I would go to news. I could even go, Amazon newest video games. In fact, I could even type in video game release dates. And look at this. This is great. This is FIFA 15. We know that that's going on right now as we speak. This came out 13 hours ago. So now that I know what I want to probably get an article about, the game FIFA 15, I'm going to type in FIFA 15 review. It's by Electronic Arts, EA. And now what could I do? I could literally come in here. I can take this text, copy it. In this instance, I would actually use a Microsoft Word document. I'd open that up, I'd paste it. I'd click on each image and get the images out of there. I would select anything in blue and click Remove Hyperlink, because I don't want any code or anything in there. I also don't want any links. So now I can take this article, I can select all of it and copy it. I've got 3 tabs open. I still have the Spin Rewriter and the blog opened. I would come back up and click on Rewrite. I'd simply paste that video game review, FIFA 15. I'd make sure it looked good space-wise, make sure the spacing was correct. And I know that the settings are still the same, but again, I select the first, second, and fourth box. I double check, I want this on low. If you use the medium, you'll get more diversity. This might be good on an article that you get online versus the ones that we put on your site, but you will have to make more manual corrections. But again, it will be more diverse. In fact, it's probably the best setting for any article content you pull off the web. Make sure that box is checked and start the rewriting process. You scroll down, continue to the final step, generate a unique version, and here it is. I'll select all, I'll copy it, come back to my blog, I'll click Add New on the left, I'll paste it in there, I'll get rid of that, and I'll create my own title, FIFA 15. newest soccer video game review. You know, create a unique title. And then I'll have to go through and I'll manually make sure that this is grammatically correct. It's not a super large article, but in the 2 minutes it's going to take to proofread this is a heck of a lot less time than it would take for me to research and write about this game that came out. Now, also, I want to get a picture. I think a picture is worth 1,000 words, and every post that you publish probably should have a picture inside of it. And we've already gone over this in previous videos. But I'm going to grab a picture, and then I'm going to actually go in and I'm going to put an Amazon link so that people can buy this game or pre-order it. Okay, so I'm going to also show you a little trick that you can do to edit images. When the image has a black background, you can see that the text sometimes wants to run into it. I'll show you how to quickly fix that here. Okay, so what you do is you right-click the image, open with Paint, and you'll see at the very bottom you can get the size of the image. It's 559 by 222. I like to add 30 or 40 pixels to each dimension. So if I add 30, I'll make it 589 by 252. I simply Control A, Control C, that's select all and copy. And then I'll go to I'll create a new one, new image. And then I'll click on Resize, Pixels, get rid of this Maintain Aspect Ratio. And again, I'll make it 589 by 252. I'll hit Control V, or right-click Paste. There's the image. I'll do my best to center it. And now I'm creating a white border around the image. I'll save as. I'll call it FIFA 15 sized. Almost everyone has Paint or something similar. It's not required, but I don't like how the text is butted up against the image. I'll delete the image, click on Add Media, Upload Files. I can drag and drop, or I can select it. I'm going to find the image, hopefully. Here it is. I'm going to put it on the left-hand side, insert into post, and now you can see there's a nice white border giving the text some space. Last step, I'm going to go ahead and find the game on Amazon. Okay, so I found the ASIN ID on Amazon, and maybe when I click the mouse cursor, when it's blinking right there, that's where the ad will go in. Click in ASIN page, I'll paste it, I'll click submit, and I'll click publish. It's that simple. Then if I click on view post, here's the post, here's the advertisement, here's a great review. I didn't write it, I just reworded it, checked for typos, and literally this could be done in just a few minutes. You multiply that by 4 or 5 posts per day, and you can just see how much time this will save you. You can get unique content this way. You can reword it, rephrase it. You can even move the paragraphs around. But instead of you having to write it, you can save yourself a ton of time. That's the benefit of this Spin Rewriter. It will save you a ton of time if you take the proactive role of helping to market your website. This is not required. I almost never try to sell anything, but when it comes to a tool that can save 80% of your time, it can turn your 2 hours a day into 30 minutes or less, considerable time savings. I can't speak highly enough of this. Again, it's not going to spin these articles perfectly. You will have to go through and proof it and do a little bit of editing, but it's totally worth the time. So if this interests you and you want to get your hands on the report, if you try this Spin Rewriter out for 5 days, they will give you the report for free, which I know they used to sell it for at least $100. You get that for free even if you cancel after 5 days to try this thing out. If you don't cancel, it's $77 for the year. You can pay monthly, but it's $27 for the month. So to me, it makes sense to pay for the year. And then the last thing is they actually have a plugin that can prevent you from having to log in to Spin Rewriter. You should be able to do it from your blog, your WordPress blog. But I've played around with their plugin and it does not work very well. It works sporadically. So I'm actually in the process of developing our own plugin. So if you do end up trying this out and keeping it for the year, send me an email, because I'll make sure that when the plugin is completed, I get it installed on your website. I'll make a video for you to show you how to use it, because it will save you even more time. Thank you.